Hello and welcome to yet another video. Today we are playing Vampre Therapist, which is a game that was suggested in my group of friends with our video game club. Like people have book clubs, we have a video game club where roughly every month one person suggests a video game we all play, and then it will be played, and then we get together and talk about the game. And I am very intrigued. It's a visual novel, and yeah, let's head right into it, I guess. Sensitive topics such as war, abuse, addiction, sexual oppression, suicidal ideation, religion, and of course death. These may be uncomfortable or upsetting for some readers. We recommend that readers with a history of trauma related to any of these topics approach this game with caution. Naturally, a game about vampires will also involve blood and sexual themes. Strong language is also present. Vampre Therapist was developed in consultation with licensed therapists, but it should not be considered a substitute for therapy, unless you're a vampire.
My name is Sam Walls, and I'm a dead man. Well, kinda dead at least. See, I'm a vampire. Now, if you think that means all that Dracula hooey, like hissing, wearing skin-tight leather, and hunting mortals for sport, I wouldn't blame you one bit. That's exactly the sort of thing I did in my younger years with my former gang. And let me tell you, a vampire who's good with a gun can be a real terror. I got lucky though. I met some kind mortals who saw beyond my fangs. They taught me my letters and showed me how my thinking was keeping me from finding any kind of peace. After they passed on, I roamed America's majestic wilderness for nigh on 90 years, figuring out myself and what it means to be a vampire. And I found revelation. What I realized was, it ain't fangs that make us monsters. It's the self-defeating ways we think. Anywho, as the world started getting smaller, my old vampire gang tracked me down. Them being my kin, I wanted to help them see the world like I did, but they still have the same monster mindset I used to have. Good thing I'm a quick draw. But I got hooked up with this newfangled internet thing and found a vampire who's helping my kin find their way. Fella named Andromachos, supposed to be 3,000 years old. He invited me to come out to Europe to learn from him. I figure someone older than time has got to have the answers. I'm going on a trip, I guess. This feels like my opportunity to do some good in the world. I've been lucky, and now it's time to give back. Vampires ain't monsters. Or at least, they don't have to be. And come hell or high water, I'm gonna prove it to them.
That's a hell of a Texan accent if I ever heard one. Ooh, I like the frame. The text frame.
Well, I think this is the address. Number 27, Clean Flitter Mouse Street.
You have to know that this game was developed in Germany, but somehow they made it all in English and got some very talented voice actors, like from Hades and one from Baldur's Gate 3. I can't name them right now, but I like this. That they kept the German names and stuff and had the... Yeah, American people have them read out loud.
Sure is a hell of a lot of ruckus for this time of night. People stay up late here.
It's a good beat. This is called Immer Nacht and translates to always night.
Wait a minute. These folk are vampires. I better watch myself.
You're a vampire yourself.
Guten Abend, folks. Speaking some English?
Guten Abend. It means good evening in German. Guten Abend. And yes, I'm fluent in German because that's my first language. Sprechen Sie English?
Ja, hallo, Alter. Are you here to party with us at the hottest club?
Reinhard.
I don't think what I'm wearing will fit the dress code.
Dress code.
The cowboy look is totally sexy, but you will get a bit sweaty.
Who is it? Flula? The voice actor? The Flula.
I hope we will all get a bit sweaty.
Good thing we run a little on the cold side, huh?
Don't worry, my Liebling. We make each other warm.
Reinhard, stop. Don't scare the American. I want to do that.
Maxi Liebchen, you're so naughty tonight.
Liebchen.
No, you are the naughty one.
Oh, I definitely ain't an American no more. Well, what's so special about this club?
Immernacht is the greatest club aller Zeiten. The owner makes sure everyone has a good time.
If anyone acts without respect, they are banned from the club forever. You are free to do and be whatever you like, as long as you are harming no one.
And I hear that they are now attracting sexy old cowboys.
Shh, Maxi, he is old enough to be your grandfather.
He's old enough to be your great-great-great-grandfather.
Oh, come on now. You're just flattering me. I'm only a couple 100 years old.
Oh mein Gott, he is so cute, Reinhard. Can I keep him?
I'm looking for Andrew Makos.
You mean the club owner? Ja, that is why we are here.
If you're lucky, he will invite us to the private party at the end of the night.
Well, what happens there?
I think maybe it is too kinky for Americans to hear.
Let's go!
I can cut loose. What kind of party is this?
The kind where we dance all night and get sexy.
Oh, we're them kind of vampires.
Ach so, there are better things to suck than blood, oder?
Although we have to get past the bouncer first. If we do not, I'm thinking our night is ruined.
Why are you pulsating?
Oh, wait a sec. There's something about what she just said. I can feel it. It reminds me of one of my revelations about the funny patterns in the way we vampires think. Well, let's see. One type of thinking I noticed I called hot branding. That's when we brand ourselves with names we can't get rid of. There's high noon mind. That's when we treat a situation like it's a do-or-die showdown. And there's saloon thinking. That's when we act either helpless or invincible, like we've just drunk a pint of moonshine. I can always check my journal if I need examples. I kept all my notes about the funny ways we vampires think in there. I think I know which one of them funny ways they're thinking in, though. Hold on, compadres. You seem like the kind who can make their own fun.
I don't want to have my own fun. Immernacht is the only place to be on Friday night.
We vampires sometimes call ourselves awful names. I'm a failure. I'm unlikable. It's like burning. Okay, I wanted to check this. A lot of us bloodsuckers have a habit of either of feeling responsible or soul control, or of feeling completely hopeless. Thing is, usually neither is true. Feeling hopeless don't mean we're powerless, and feeling untouchable don't mean we're invincible. That's saloon thinking either way. Our real capabilities are somewhere in between. With my dark powers, vampires shall dominate the mortal world. If a mortal discovers our secret, it's entirely my responsibility to deal with it. I can't deal with the bureaucracy of international travel with my coffin. I'm stuck in the USA forever. I missed that shot. I'm such a butterfingers. Crying over a horse. You're as sappy as hell. That fella doesn't like wearing leather. He's only a vampire wannabe. If I can't get the best saddle, my butt's gonna break, ain't no doubt. Either I show up ready to win the rodeo, or I'd better just not show up. The fate of the Wild West is hanging on his gunfight. Things we can't seem black and white, win or lose, famine or feast, live or die. Like everything's a bit showdown. Maybe this? I'm not sure. Thinking it's dreams.
Amigos, you're putting too much weight on this thing. It's a nightclub, not a high noon showdown. The night's full of possibilities.
Reinhardt, I don't know what this means, but I like the way the sexy American talks.
You make us think that maybe it is better we haven't gotten into the club, because we are now meeting you.
Hey, if meeting me makes your night better, I'm glad we met. I really gotta find Andromachos, though.
You have to get past the bouncer. He decides who gets in and who doesn't. And he hasn't looked our way all night.
Maybe I'll have a little word with him. Excuse me, friend. I hear you're the man to talk to around these parts. I'm here to see Andromachos.
Have fun, mate.
Hey, thanks, amigo. You have yourself a fine night, you hear?
Cowboy, what about us?
Yeah, sure, they're friends of mine.
Have fun, mate.
Well, come on, you two. We ain't got all night. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang, awful loud in here.
Come on, my liver, dance with us!
Oh, you kids have fun. I'll catch up with you later. Tarnation, I'd rather hear a gopher giving birth than this.
I like the soundtrack.
I better talk to whoever's slinging drinks in this here saloon. They ought to know where Andromachos is. But pardon me, ma'am.
Well, look at you.
Hello, side cut representation.
Here, but usually the 1880s.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I talked over her. But oh my! Hello! We get a lot of 80s fashion in here, but not usually the 1880s.
What can I get you, cowboy? The special's Red Bull and vodka. You down?
I never drink Red Bull. I'm actually looking for the owner. He around tonight?
Might be. What do you say your name was?
Sam Walls, begging your pardon.
Sam Walls, huh? I don't think I know anything about a Sam Walls. After all, I'm just a know-nothing bartender.
Which one was it? The down talk stuff. Hot branding, okay.
From where I'm standing, I see someone with style and confidence, not just a drink machine.
Yeah!
Don't go branding yourself like that's all you are.
Look at her! Look at all the Spidey tattoos.
Don't you go worrying about me, cowboy. The man upstairs warned me you were coming. I was just testing to see if you are who you say you are. Tell you what, let me give you something from our special reserve. I don't think you're looking for booze.
Well, thank you kindly, ma'am. I was wondering where the blood was. I met some vampires outside, so I figured this was a vampire club.
You met some goths, honey. They're here to dance and have fun.
So all these people are mortals?
How do you think the head vampire gets his blood? They can't wait to share it with him. It's a special experience. He's the only real vampire here. Well, him and Bert.
Bert?
Bert! Who's Bert?
You met him already. Bert, shuffle on over here.
Attentively.
This one's here to see the big guy. Show him upstairs, okay?
And she's not? And I like she's called Crimson because of the red hair. Because of the red hair, I'm thinking about, what's it called? I want to say Upside Down, but no, it's not Upside Down. The movie with the emotions. The second one, where they all have red hair. Inside out. Inside out. Upside down.
Have fun, mate.
Have fun.
Good luck up there, cowboy. Hope you find what you're looking for.
Howdy. It's Sam Walls to see you, sir. The guy who's been sending you all them V-mails.
V-mails.
Yes, I know who you are, Samuel Walls. You have come here because you believe you can help our kin.
Oh my god. Is he Hades? Like in the video game Hades? Is he the voice Hades? He certainly sounds like him.
The question is, are you first able to help yourself?
I've been fixing myself for more than a century now. I don't think I need help.
Then you must prepare to learn a most difficult lesson. We all need help, Samuel. I am pleased that you have come to receive mine.
Hello. With them yellow eyes.
Dang, you scared the heck out of me.
You must allow an ancient vampire his games. He will play them regardless. Please, sit down. What an absolute pleasure it is to meet you at last. I found your messages most intriguing.
Afraid there ain't much here in the way of intrigue. I'm just a lonesome cowboy looking for answers.
You know, I receive emails every day from vampires seeking my help. You are the very first to seek my aid in helping others. This alone makes you intriguing.
Well, dang. I think you're going to be sorely disappointed when you get to talking to me. I'm just honored you're giving me the time of night.
I have unlimited time, Samuel. I am pleased to share some of it with you. Our kind can be rather set in their ways. It is inspiring to see someone so young and eager to learn.
So young? How many centuries are you old?
Yeah, well, I wasn't much for learning when I was alive. Just making up for lost time, I guess.
It sounds as though you have been handling your own life better than most. I was particularly intrigued by these revelations you had while walking in nature.
Oh yeah, them. Well, I give walking the credit. Nothing sorts my thoughts out better. After a few decades, I started seeing patterns in the way we vampires think.
Can you explain some of these patterns?
I've tried to explain them to other vampires, but it ain't never gone well. I can try, though. See, we tend to assume certain things just because we've been believing them since we were alive. Or we decide the world's against us just because we're hungry or tired or something. And when we start tackling problems that ain't real, we ain't fixing our real problems. That make any kind of sense?
Fascinating, Samuel. These revelations that you had in the woods, mortal psychologists have a term for them. They are called cognitive distortions.
Okay, let's remember that. Cognitive distortions. We already got a achievement for that.
Cognitive whoozy what now?
Cognitive distortions. They are exactly as you described them. I will explain in a moment. Please, tell me about these specific revelations you had.
I realize that as vampires, we can get the feeling of the power that comes with immortality and strength, but then we get hopeless and aimless over time. It's kind of like the fella you see in the saloon at the bottom of a bottle of whiskey. Either he thinks he can fight everyone, or he's crying into them last drops because he thinks life's hopeless. It's saloon thinking, two extremes that probably ain't true.
A fascinating observation, Samuel. Your saloon thinking was described in my time as the battle between hubris and nemesis, the twin excesses of arrogance and self-pity.
Oh man, it make me wish I'd gotten some schooling. Maybe I would have figured this stuff out earlier.
You live forever, my friend. There is no rush. What you have identified is a phenomenon where individuals perceive either an illusion of control or a lack of control.
Nice.
Mortal psychologists call this phenomenon you have described a control fallacy.
Okay.
Rarely do we have complete power over our situations or no power at all. But we create this illusion that stops us from attempting to change our perceived situations.
Yeah, you're right about that. I used to think I'd never get away from my gang, and maybe that's what made me stick with them for so long.
Yes, you see how cognitive distortions keep us from facing reality, whatever that reality may be. Of course, I am so old and powerful that I am always in control.
You're testing me, ain't you? That's a control fallacy right there.
Well done, Samuel. I am indeed very powerful, but the cosmos holds no awareness of Andromachos.
Andromachos.
Of course, as you expertly pointed out with your analogy about the man at the bottom of a whiskey bottle, a control fallacy can be positive or negative. Listen to my next few statements and try to find a control fallacy. Simply let me continue if you do not detect one. The sun will eventually burn out. I will roam a cold, dead earth, and there is little I can do about it.
Well, that sounds like one of them control fallacies. With all eternity, heck, I think you could do something to save the sun.
No, you can't.
I applaud your optimism and ambition, Samuel, but some things we must be prepared to accept, and the death of the sun is one of them. But let us continue. My kitty cat died. I shall be lonely forever.
I'm sorry about your sweet kitty, but you can always pick up a new one. Or there's lots of them just waiting for a loving home, so you don't need to be lonely.
It was just an example, Samuel. Well spotted. But I do speak from experience. I felt this way once when a pharaoh I was dating had our cat mummified.
No.
I went into a murderous depression that nearly decimated the continent. But I had the power to help myself all along by adopting a new friend in need of a home.
Oh, dang, don't let me get on your bad side.
I doubt you shall see it, Samuel. Did you have more revelations to tell me about?
Well, I noticed how we stress ourselves out by making everything a battle of do-or-die absolutes. High noon mind, I call it. Like that feeling you get right before a big shootout.
I must confess I have no experience with this feeling. I engaged in mortal combat long before the age of gunpowder.
Mortal Kombat. Test your might.
But the sentiment you describe mirrors the words of my old friend Marcus Aurelius. He used to say that the magnitude of life's challenges often turn us into our worst selves.
You mean Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor?
Of course, his name was Marcus. Marcus was a bedroom name.
You mean you and the emperor were...
It was ancient Rome. Penetration was similar to a handshake.
Okay.
My apologies. I somehow forgot you were American. But let us discuss this high noon mind. I believe we can broaden your definition. Mortal psychologists call this phenomenon of binary thought polarized thinking, but I like to call it Nosferatu thinking.
He even calls it Nosferatu thinking. Black and white, win or lose, la la la.
Nosferatu thinking?
It means you are thinking in black and white.
I get it. That's pretty funny.
I believe it encompasses the breadth of the distortion. One is not flatly weak or strong, good or evil, smart or stupid, a success or a failure. The truth is far more complex and colorful.
Colorful.
Not every high noon gunfight ends in oblivion, correct?
But yeah, that's true. Getting shot still ain't fun, but it ain't the end neither.
A perfect example, Samuel. Now, try to catch me using Nosferatu thinking. I will give you a series of statements, and one of them will contain Nosferatu thinking. I will repeat them if you miss it. If I do not drink blood, I will surely die. Death eventually comes for us all. Mortals will always fear our kind. Did you miss my Nosferatu thinking? Let me start over. If I do not drink blood, I will surely die.
Is that Nosferatu thinking?
No, Samuel. In this case, I am not arguing with reality. If we do not drink blood,
Yes.
we die. This is a fact of being a vampire. Let us continue. Death eventually comes for us all.
Well, not for vampires. Huh?
That sounds like Nosferatu thinking. That's pretty black and white. We've cheated death ourselves.
Although this thinking is binary, it is also true, and therefore not a distortion.
True.
And death has already come for us, my friend. We simply cling to life. Please, let us try another. Mortals will always fear our kind.
Yeah.
That's Nosferatu thinking right there. I've met mortals who knew who I was and weren't scared.
Very good, Samuel. And even if you hadn't, to say mortals will always fear us ends any hope that they might not. Always is such a terminal word, is it not? Would you like to discuss more of your revelations with me?
See, I used to be in a gang. They were my whole existence. If you asked me who I was, I would have said, I'm a murdering bastard. Once I got away, I realized how small-minded that was. I was Sam before I was a murdering bastard, but that's how I was choosing to brand myself. My old gang's still around, and they're still branding themselves like that. They can't see themselves as anything but killers.
Very astute, Samuel. I favor the clinical term, however, which is labeling. You correctly discovered that labeling is a reductive act. When we call ourselves names, even if we find them accurate, we create prophecies we are doomed to fulfill. For millennia, I thought of myself as a killer. It was not untrue that killing was how I made my way in the world. I was an unstoppable warrior and assassin. But with this label, I limited myself for ages. I did not only kill people, I also killed potential aspirations I might have had. See whether you can catch me doing some labeling in my next few statements. I am so old, I am ancient. Call me whatever you like, but don't call me late for dinner. How shall I describe myself? Yes, I am a mass murderer.
Well, that's about as clear a labeling as it gets. Yeah, we vampires tend to do a lot of killing, but reducing ourselves to killers ain't doing us any favors.
Excellent, Samuel. You are correct. Labels can be cages that we lock ourselves in. I was a mere murderer for most of my existence because that is how I labeled myself.
Yeah, I did the same thing. Sam Walls, the murderer, reprobate, and good for nothing.
Those are not how I would describe the Sam Walls I see before me. Did you have more revelations to tell me about?
I think that's all of them. Or at least the ones that were the most obvious to me.
That you recognize the concept of cognitive distortions at all is most impressive, Samuel. What took me nearly 3 millennia to understand took you merely 2 centuries.
Okay, now we kind of know how old he is.
Oh, come on, you're just flattering me. I'm just a dope stumbling his way through one life.
Nosferatu thinking? Or it's just labeling? I don't know.
Are you now? Tell me, Samuel, what kind of cognitive distortion are you exhibiting when you call yourself a dope?
Yeah, I'm doing some labeling. I got
Haha!
As long as we retain any humanity, we will have cognitive distortions. What we are aiming for is not to become perfect beings, but to understand and accept ourselves. As long as we can recognize cognitive distortions, we can address our real challenges. One cannot drink blood from a straw man, after all.
Huh. I ain't never heard that one before, but I like it.
If it helps solidify the concept in your mind, then I am well satisfied. I know you came to learn from me, so I will do my best to honor your good intentions. Let us ensure that you understand the concepts of labeling, control fallacies, and Nosferatu thinking. I will give you a series of statements, and each one will contain a cognitive distortion for you to identify. I will begin.
Yes, but we will do this
in the next episode.
Yes, I am intrigued. The vibe is nice. I like the art style. I like the voices. I like that I don't need to read it out loud. And yeah, I just like everything here. It's just I like. So yeah, that's to that. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.